Kumikita nga ba talaga ang business mo? Hello everyone, this is Jesse Alcaraz. I teach people accounting, business, and financial literacy concepts. And for this video, I will be showing to you a tool kung paano malalaman if kumikita nga ba talaga ang business mo. So in my years of dealing with small business owners from different industries, food and beverage, aesthetic businesses, e-commerce, manufacturing, construction businesses, there's one thing in common na pinoproblema talaga ng mga business owners, which is related to profitability. So for most of them, hindi nila alam kung profitable ba talaga ang business nila. And of course, hindi rin nila ma-pinpoint kung ano ba talaga yung pinaka-problema ng kanilang operation. And one of the things that leads into this seemingly state na wala silang idea is that hindi maganda ang record keeping nila. Mayroon silang problema sa pag-record ng mga transaction sa workflows nila, and thus they don't have a reliable, complete, and accurate data to support their business decisions. Dito pumapasok ang mga accounting tools gaya ng spreadsheets, accounting systems, and for more complicated businesses, ERP solutions. So I have already showed you a sales and expense tracker that is housed in a Google Sheet for smaller and businesses na may mga simple workflows and operation. But for those na medyo a little bit more complicated because they deal with inventory, they deal with credits, credit line from the suppliers, and credit line being given to customers. So, medyo ano siya, may added layer of complexity. That is why for this video, papakita ko sa inyo ano yung ginagamit ko, and of course, dinedeploy ko din sa mga clients ko. So without further ado, I'll be introducing to you Manager IO. So this is the interface of this software. So on the yung pinaka dashboard niya is very boring, okay? Napaka-boring ng dashboard. Actually, yung buong ano niya, buong system talaga is napaka-boring in a sense na numbers and words lang talaga ang makikita mo. Walang mga graphs, walang mga icons. So, para lang siyang simple database na merong sound accounting framework. Ayan. So on the left side, we have the balance sheet. On the right side, we have the profit and loss. So meron lang akong initial na pinasok na 100,000 on cash on hand so that meron tayong magamit for the demonstration. Kasi I don't want to have a negative balances dito sa cash and cash accounts natin. So, I'll just walk you through sa interface muna. So again, we have the dashboard here, the summary containing the balance sheet and the profit and loss. You can edit kung ano yung period na gusto mo. So if you wanted August 1 to today ang marereflect sa dashboard mo, that would be fine. Kung gusto mo from the very start up to the present, tanggalin mo lang yan, then update. If you don't want to show zero balances na account, you can click this one. So, yung mga zero, hindi na lalabas dyan. Okay? Then we have the bank and cash accounts. Of course, when we are dealing with multiple cash and bank accounts, cash in bank, cash on hand, GCash, BDO, BPI, it's important that our transactions are being added or deducted to a specific cash or bank account. So, yan yung pinaka-rule niya dito. Then we have the receipts and payments. So, for transactions that involves collection of money, dadaan yan sa receipts. For transactions that deals with cash outflows, kasi meron tayong binabayaran, that's for payments. We have customers, so we will be adding our customers here. So for this demo, We only have one customer, customer 1. So if you wanted to add, just create new customer. Ayan. So in this case, one name lang yung nilagay ko. Di na ako naglagay ng delivery address tsaka email. Then we have sales invoices. So dito natin i-record yung mga sales transactions natin. Of course, our supplier, we have one supplier here, supplier Pedro. Name, address, email. We can also add additional fields, no? If you wanted a field for TIN, contact number, contact person, aside from the owner's name. So, we can add it. Purchase invoice, dito pumapasok yung mga purchase transactions. And of course, inventory. So, we only have two. We'll add a blender. So, assuming na yung business na i-demo natin ngayon is mayroon siyang physical store and then engage into retail. Okay, nagbebenta ng mga household appliances. So, let's add blender. For the valuation method, I normally use weighted average lang. Okay, there are other options here, but for purposes of this demo, ganito lang kasimple. Okay? Okay, we'll start. So, ito yung magiging flow ng mga transactions na ipapakita ko during this demo. So, number one would be create inventory. Actually, tapos na tayo dito. Okay? So, the next one would be purchase inventory. So, in our system, we already have three different inventory items. Blender, electric fan, rice cooker. So, bibili tayo. Punta tayo sa purchase invoice. Click purchase, new purchase invoice. Specify the date. Okay. So, maraming nalilito kapag ganito yung format ng date. So, we'll just adjust it. Punta tayo sa settings. And then, dito, date and number format. So, the date format, we wanted it to look like ito. So, month, date, then year. Okay, so go back, purchase invoice, new purchase invoice. Today yung issue date. And then, itong due date, we can set a due date in two ways. So, kung net yung gagamitin natin, it means how many days from now magiging due yung purchase na ito. Or if we use buy, we can set a specific date kung kailan siya mag-due. Then reference, if meron kayong mga numbering, tracking, or mga references, you can just add it here. So typically, if meron kayong internal way of numbering transactions, just write it here. Specify the supplier. So in this case, meron lang tayong isang supplier, si Pedro. And then descriptions, this will, pwedeng meron, pwedeng wala, but I would recommend na lagyan nyo na lang purchase of additional stocks. Kasi this will be your main guide to identify a specific transaction. So, bili tayo restock tayo ng blender. So, just add line, electric fan, and then rice cooker. We'll purchase an initial stock of 10 for each of these products. Blender, let's say 500. Electric fan, sabihin natin 700. Rice cooker naman, magkano kaya ang rice cooker? Lagay natin 1,000. For a total of 22,000 pesos. Discounts, pwedeng yung lagyan kung may mga discounts. If none, ayan. So, create. So, by having this transaction, bumili tayo ng initial stocks natin, tig 10 each, for a total of 22,000. So, this transaction now will be reflected in our summary. Okay, so when we go back to our summary, meron na tayong inventory kasi nakabili tayo ng inventory worth 22,000. If we click inventory, lalabas dyan kung ilang quantity as well as yung total cost. as well as accounts payable. So the moment na magpasok tayo ng transaction sa purchase invoice, it will be recorded as a payable. So when we click payable, lalabas dyan na meron tayong utang kay supplier Pedro. Okay? You can also check our inventory in the inventory items. Ayan. So we're done with purchase of inventory. The next would be the payment of this purchase. So sabi ko kanina, this transaction, this purchase invoice is recorded as a payable. Okay? Payable. So due today, since wala naman tayong nilagay na due date, it will be due today. So bayaran natin. Paano siya babayaran? Just view the invoice. And then hanapin yung button na copy to. By the way, you can print this one. Okay? You can print this transactions or form. So copy to and then new payment. Again, copy to new payment. So dadalhin niya tayo dito sa payment section. So sabi ko a while ago, payment is the module that records outflow of money. So bumili tayo on credit, meron tayong terms, and then later on, babayaran natin. So specify the date of payment, reference, and then kung saan siya kukunin. Ito yung maganda. Because if you're using Excel, you cannot really specify. You can add, no? You can add formulas or mga scripts or whatever. But in an accounting system, mas napapadali yung trabaho mo. Meron kang gustong bayaran na utang ni Pedro, utang natin kay Pedro, kaya accounts payable, and then specify natin saan kukunin yung pera. So wala tayong pera sa cash in bank, so sa cash on na natin siya kukunin. And we can edit how much we will be paying. So assuming nababayaran natin is 15 kasi medyo gusto nating iparolling pa yung pera natin and maximize the terms, lagay tayo ng description, partial payment to Pedro. And then create. Okay. So what this anong mangyayari for this transaction? By the way, for accountants, for every transaction, you can click this one. Ayan, may debit credit dyan. Well, wala lang. Okay? Just for those who wanted to explore or learn accounting din. Kasi lahat ng transactions in businesses have a specific journal entry. If you go back to purchase invoice din, tignan nyo to. Merong ano dyan. Ayan o, transaction journal. So there's a specific journal entry for that. But of course, if you're not interested in that, so just ignore it. Ano lang, intrusive thoughts of an accountant lang. Sana ba tayo? Okay, balik tayo dito. So what this transaction does is magbabayad, okay? Meron tayong binayaran. May binayaran tayong accounts payable, debited yung accounts payable. So meaning binawasan yung accounts payable, nabawasan yung utang natin. And then meron siyang nabawas sa cash on hand na 15,000 pesos. So if you go back to our summary, ito kanina, yung cash natin, this is 100,000. Pero because of the payment transaction, nagbawas na tayo ng 15. That is why if you click this one, cash on hand will already reflect 85,000 pesos. By the way, if you've noticed, nakiklik po yung mga numbers na yan. Okay? Lahat ng blue amounts in this software are clickable. And if you click it, it shows you the subsidiary ledger. And once you click the amount dito sa subsidiary ledger, it shows the different transactions involving that account. So in terms of tracing, mas napapadali yung trabaho natin kasi natitrace natin bakit ganyan yung balance niya. Okay? And then at the same time, if you go back to our purchase invoice, the invoice amount is 22,000. Nag-partial payment tayo ng 15. That is why mare-reflect yung 7,000. If you go to the supplier module, makikita natin, okay, Pedro, payable natin sa kanya is only 7,000. Okay? If you go back to purchase invoice as well, ang dami kong sinasabi, no? Just let me know sa comments if meron kayong questions. Purchase invoice, you view the invoice, makikita din dito yung invoice natin, purchase invoice, as well as the succeeding transactions involving this invoice, which is payment. Kaya 7,000. So again, terms of tracing, napakadali. Okay, so we're done with this one. So, cash out natin. Okay. Tapos na tayo. Gumawa ng inventory item. Purchase ng inventory item. Magbayad for those purchases. Next would be the sale. Okay. So, punta tayo sa sales invoice. Sales invoice, then create new sales invoice. Let's just use this date. And for this specific transaction, bigyan lang natin ng 7 days term si customer. So, customer 1, isa lang yung customer natin na nilagay sa system as of now. And then, magbibenta tayo sa kanya ng blender tsaka rice cooker. So, sa blender, benta natin ng 2,000 pesos. And si rice cooker, benta natin ng 2,500. Wow, ang laki ng tubo. Okay? Wala kayong pakialam. Okay. Credit sale to Juan. Okay, wala tayong pakialam sa kung magkano natin siya binebenta. Credit sale to Juan. Okay? Will you offer discount? Depende sa'yo. I'd prefer not. Okay, and then create. So this specific transaction will record a receivable from Juan amounting to 4,500. And then at the same time, dun sa blender natin, mababawasan na. So if you go back to our inventory, silipin natin sa inventory, we initially started with, ano tawag dito? 10 per items. But after the sales transaction, 9 na lang siya. Okay. So since nagalaw yung ano natin, nagalaw yung mga inventory natin, from time to time, in this accounting system, you have to revisit or click this recalculate button. Kasi kunwari si Blender, 'di ba? Ang bili natin kay Blender 500 each. Okay? So how come naging 555 siya? Because yung total cost natin is 5,000, which is the amount that we have used to pay for the blender. And since nabawasan siya ng isa, so in the system, 9 na lang. That is why 5,000 divided by 9, ito yung magiging average cost niya. In order to correct that, we have to click recalculate, apply changes, and then our items will be recalculated based on the total cost and the number of quantities we still own. Okay? Medyo advanced topic yon. If you have questions, clarifications, feel free to use the comment section. Okay, if we go back to customers, ayan, meron ng utang si Juan. Again, this is a blue number. We can click it. Bakit may utang na 45? 45 because of a sales invoice. Okay, now, what if magbabayad na si Juan? Say, babayaran niya lang 3,000 pesos. Kasi inutang ni Juan yung 1,500. So again, go to the invoice. Copy to, just like kanina sa purchase invoice. And then, instead of payment, we will be taken to the new receipt. So, new receipt, date, customer, and then, saan papasok yung pera? Sabihin na natin, cash in bank. Ayan. Instead na 4,500, it will be 3,000. Okay? Then, create. So, transaction journal, since we're accounting nerds here. So, anong nangyari sa transaction na ito? Accounts receivable was credited, meaning nabawasan yung accounts receivable. Bakit nabawasan? Because nagbayad si Juan. And then, what happened to our cash in bank? Nadagdagan, debited. 'Di ba? Parang, ano lang, parang sa classroom lang, discussing debit and credit. Okay? Since nadagdagan yung pera natin sa cash in bank, when we go to summary, and click the cash and cash equivalent, ayan, mayroon ng laman si cash and bank. Bakit may 3,000? Again, we can click it because of the payment transaction. If we go back to customers, ayan, from 4,500 naging 3,000, sorry, from 4,500 naging 1,500 na lang. Why? Because, again, of the payment. Kitang-kita natin dito. 4,500, kasi nakabenta tayo sa kanya. Merong naging 1,500 because may collection. And again, if we go to sales invoice, view, lalabas dyan na merong receipt on August 14, kaya balance niya 1,500. Okay? Okay, what's next? We're done with the sale. We're done with the collection. Okay. Inventory adjustment, ito. Isa sa pinakamadugo. Okay? I have a lot of clients that are dealing with inventory, and I must say, this is one of the most, nakaka-stress na part of running a business with a lot of inventory. Inventory adjustments. So, inventory adjustment is being used to adjust our inventories. Okay. Ito lesson. A good business solutions or a good business system should never have a feature wherein you can manually edit the inventory. Yung tipong, okay, punta tayo sa inventory items, may plus button, may minus button, or may box dyan that we can enter kung ilan na talaga. Okay, that's a no-no in a sound system anchored on accounting frameworks. Bakit? Because if you're allowed to just edit the number of the quantity or the cost of an inventory, it will not leave a trail. Okay? It will not leave a trail kung ang number ba na nakikita natin is really 10 or is it because 15 siya dati tapos nabawasan siya ng 5 kaya naging 10. So kung ang kaya lang natin makita is the 10, we don't have a way to know if 10 ba talaga yan sa umpisa? Mas mataas ba tsaka binawasan kaya naging 10? Or 5 ba siya initially tapos merong nadagdag na 5 kaya naging 10? We don't have a way of knowing if that is allowed. That is why dito, since manager is primarily an accounting system, we can only add or deduct the quantity if there are transactions that increases or decreases such quantity. So for example, if we click Blender, nadagdagan siya ng 10 because there is a purchase and nabawasan siya ng 1 because of a sales. Hindi natin pwedeng i-crash out si 9, ay i-crash out si 10 tapos palitan ng 9. It should have a specific transaction na nagdagdag or nabawas. Okay? So, going back to inventory adjustment. But before that, let's just add this module. We will be needing this one for our adjustment. This is inventory write-offs. And then we'll also add a chart of accounts. An accounts na sabihin natin spoilage. Or di naman spoilage kasi we're dealing with appliances. Ano bang better term? Damage. Ayun, damage. Lagyan natin sa expense. Okay. So let's say, as of today, August 14, sa system natin merong 10 electric fan. Okay, 10 electric fan. So, we print this form, check our bodega, our warehouse, and verify if meron pa ba talagang 10 electric fan. So, ito yung scenario. Pagpunta natin sa warehouse natin, meron talagang 10. However, isa doon, damage na and cannot be used for selling. Okay? So, what happens now? Well, assuming na wala tayong warranty with our suppliers, so tayo yung mag-absorb ng loss na yon. So, we have to remove now one unit of the electric fan and charge it to damaged goods. Ayan. So, how do we do this in the system? So, if you're using spreadsheet, ang gagawin nyo lang, tatanggalin nyo yung 10, erase the 10, and then papalitan ng 9. So, what happens to the 1? The 1 unit na merong 700 cost, mamawala na siya. Unless na lang if we also record it as an expense. But here, it's seamless. Go to inventory write-off, new write-off, and then specify the item, electric fan, and then 1. And then in the allocation, we will be choosing the specific account saan natin i-charge yung electric fan. So in this case, let's search for spoiled or damage. So write off because of damage rate. Okay? So if you noticed, inventory items, 9 na lang. Okay? From 10, naging 9. Sir, bakit hindi 700? Again, recalculate. Ayan. So, punta tayo sa summary. So, meron tayong sales kay Juan na 4.5. Okay? Ayan. Blender tsaka rice cooker. Meron tayong cost of goods sold. Saan galing ang cost of goods sold? Let's click. Cost of goods sold, kasi may isang blender. Ang cost ng blender, 500. Ang cost ng rice cooker, 1,000. So, dito pa lang, we already have our gross profit na 3,000. Because I see a lot of systems that cannot record cost of goods sold. Of course, it depends on how it is being set up. Kaya kung gusto nyo mag-set up, okay, you message me. I'll help you out. Okay? But if you can set up and organize your manager system, then that would be better. At least hindi na kayo magbabayad sa akin. Okay? So we have our sales, 4.5. We have our cost of goods sold, 1.5 so gross profit. And then, we have expenses. Ano yung other expenses natin? Spoilage. Okay? Lalabas siya dito. Bakit tayo may spoilage? Because nag-write off tayo ng isang electric fan. Okay? So that's it for inventory adjustment. Let's add more. Let's add more transaction. Record expenses. Record expenses. Okay? So sa expenses, typically naman sa expenses, binabayaran siya cash basis. Sabihin natin salaries, tsaka rent. So we can go to payments. Okay? We can go to payments directly. New payments. And then, kukunin natin siya sa cash on hand. And then, instead of items, because we're not dealing with items for this one, we'll just be dealing with accounts. So, accounts, then, check natin kung may rent ba. See if there's a rent. Ayun, may rent. Then, salaries. Sabihin natin rent is 5,000 and then salaries is 10,000. Okay? So, payment of expenses. Then, create. By the way, you can attach images. Images ng resibo or, well, depende sa inyo kung ano yung mga source documents nyo. Right? So, these expenses now will be reflected in our summary. So, gross profit, 3,000 minus expenses, negative profit. Okay. Net loss, 12,700. Lalabas si rent, lalabas si salaries. So, we're done with recording expenses. Let's now generate reports. So, in this system, we have a lot of reports. So, just go to the reports module and you will be bubulagain kayo sa dami ng reports available. So, let's just create the profit and loss for now. So, profit and loss, new report. Since wala namang other dates, you can specify the date. Okay, January 1, August 1 to, say, August 31. Lagyan lang natin ng August column. August P&L. exclude zero accounts, and then create. And then, we'll have this statement na pwede natin i-print. Ayan, print. Okay? Lugi. Okay? Lugi yung operation natin. Okay, then let's create cash flow. By the way, singit ng discussion. For a lot of business owners, akala nila profit and loss and cash flow are just the same. Well, to some extent, the same naman talaga if, only if, cash transactions lahat. Okay? If nagre-record ka lang ng sales, if nakakatanggap ka ng pera, and nagre-record ka ng expense, if nagpapalabas ka ng pera, your profit and loss and your cash flow will almost be identical, except for the investing and financing activities. So in terms of operation, yung cash flow at profit and loss mo, they will just be the same. However, if we're dealing with credit, nagpapautang tayo sa customers and inuutang natin yung binibili natin from our suppliers, then definitely magkaiba yung figures ng profit and loss. Kasi sa profit and loss, if you can remember, ang binili ni Juan is amounting to 4,500. Pero ang binayaran niya lang is 3,000. Pero how come 4,500 yung nag-reflect dito sa profit and loss? Because accrual accounting states that we record sales when we render services or when we deliver goods. Naka-deliver na tayo ng dalawang goods pertaining to the blender and rice cooker. That is why 4,500 will now be recorded as sales regardless kung 3,000 lang yung binayaran niya. Okay? The same goes for inventory cost. Ang binili natin in total for our purchases is 22,000. Pero how come na yung COGS natin is 1,500? Because only 2 items were sold. And the cost of those items are the only thing that will be recorded in the cost of goods sold. Okay? That is why we also have to check our cash flow. Cash flow. Ayan, cash flow. New report. So, cash flow for August. Let's just use direct method. Okay, and then exclude zero balances. Okay, ayan. If you noticed, in terms of cash flow, ibang-iba yung hitsura niya from our profit and loss. Nasaan ba yung profit and loss natin? So, the profit and loss, merong negative 12,700. In our cash flow, merong positive 73. Actually, ano lang siya, negative 27. Lugi tayo dito, 12,700. Pero sa cash flow natin, merong negative 27. Bakit? Because nagbayad tayo sa suppliers natin ng 15, may pumasok na 3,000 from Juan, and then nagbayad din tayo ng rent saka salaries. So all in all, may pumasok na 3, may lumabas na 30, kaya negative 27. Again, movement ng pera ang lalabas sa cash flow. Dito naman, the sales and then the expenses accrual. Okay? So, meron tayong cash beginning na 100,000. That is why cash at the end of the period is 73,000 pesos. So, nag-start tayo with 100,000. After our one-day operation, 73 na lang. So, what are the other reports available here? We also have ito, suppliers. So, we can click this supplier statements. And then, ito, set period. So, yung period natin is, say, from August 1 to today. It will now, when we click view, it will now reflect our transactions with Pedro. So, bumili tayo, 22,000. Nagbayad tayo, 15. So, if you will have some miscommunication or disagreements sa kung magkano yung utang mo sa supplier mo kasi ito yung sinasabi niya, iba din yung sinasabi mo, then you can use this statement na, okay, Pedro, review this statement. Kasi on August 14, bumili ako worth 22,000, then nagbayad ako 15, okay? Ito yung mga resibo. So, dapat 7,000 lang yung balance ko, hindi 10,000 pesos, for example. So, meron tayong supplier statement, meron din tayong customer statement. Saan na ba yung sa customers? Customers. Ito. Customer transactions. So, si Juan, Can click this one. Oh, Juan, bumili ka sa akin ng 4,500 on August 14. Ang binayad mo lang is 3,000. That is why meron ka pang babayaran na 1,500 sa akin. So what are the other reports here? Ito, um, inventory profit margin. Can use this one. Ayan, profit margin in terms of inventory. Yung blender natin for this period, August 14, nabenta natin siya ng 2,000, 2,500, cost of sales, blah, blah, blah. Margin natin is 75%, 60%. So there are a lot of very helpful reports here. Hindi ko na siya iisa-isahin. If you wanted to check quantity, ito meron din namang quantity summary. Ito maganda. At this is also tawag dito, important or something helpful. Ayan. Meron tayong tatlong inventory. Opening balance, 0. Purchases, ayan, plus 10. Again, you can click. Write-offs, may isang write-off for the electric fan sales, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yan. So, ayun. Okay, medyo mahaba na ata tong discussion natin. Let's just, we're done with our deliverables for this video. Ayan. So, overall, for me, I wouldn't say na napakadami ng nakita kong system. But as of now, Manager IO still stands out because of its simplicity. Straightforward accounting records, accounting transactions, reports. Very straightforward. Walang madaming nilalagay. Inisip talaga ng developers nito, which are from Australia, kung kung ano lang yung pinakakailangan. Okay. That is why Manager IO for me is still the one who stands out, especially for micro and small businesses. For medium and then large corporations siguro, mas magandang mag-ERP na kayo kasi mas maraming features yon that are tailor-fit for your needs. But if you have a relatively simple and small operation, then I believe you can maximize this system. So again, if you have questions, clarifications, inquiries, ayan, syempre, meron tayong ganun. Feel free to comment or reach out to me via messages. Kato lang and maayong buntag sa tanan.